Howdy, I'm the animator's friend, India Lombardi-Bello. Thanks for listening to my show. This is a podcast where I interview animators to get to know them more as human beings, as individuals, outside the context of their work. I've been a longtime consumer of podcasts, and I really love them as a platform. And I think of them as small gifts to fill your brain with other people's meandering thoughts rather than your own. So today, let's get into the mind of Josh Pilch. He works at Augenblick Studios and has worked on projects such as City Island, which is a children's show, Weird, the Yankovic Story. He also has his own podcast called Big Town Improv. It seems like they're available wherever you get your podcasts. I'm seeing Apple, Spotify, and YouTube, to name a few. On the occasion that Josh and I recorded the interview, I also needed to get rid of an old couch in my apartment, so he helped me out with that. It was a much easier endeavor than I was anticipating. So let's tune into the last conversation on this couch with the self-proclaimed animator's friend, Josh Pilch.
You have like NPR name.
You think so?
Yeah, India Lombardi-Bello.
That's nice.
Yeah, we're going now to India Lombardi-Bello.
I feel like it's too long.
No, they have long names, I feel like.
You know what my guidance counselor in high school said?
No.
He was like, with that name, like, you're going to be famous.
Wow.
He said that.
That's nice.
I know.
One of my teachers in high school said, "Did you know that nobody famous came out of Bensalem High School?" I was like, oh.
That's rude.
It was. I'm like, what's the point of saying that?
Yeah. Maybe it's you. You're going to be the one.
Yeah.
Are you famous?
No.
Okay.
Are you famous?
That's not one of the planned questions, but it is a question.
Yeah.
You work at Augenblick.
Yes.
And you work on a variety of things. Mm-hmm. But like, would you say that your main thing that you work on and that you enjoy doing is like City Island? Yeah.
I enjoy working on that show. Mm-hmm. That's our biggest project right now, I would say. It's a TV series on PBS Kids. It's shorts and it's for 6 to 8 year olds is maybe the thing, but we try to make it likable for everybody. Yeah. There's jokes that an adult can enjoy. Yeah. Yeah, it's a good show. We
forgot to say that very important. This is the last conversation that will be on this couch.
Yeah.
I mean, depending on what ends up happening to it tonight, it could either be picked up by New York City sanitation workers or by somebody who's like, hey, sick couch.
Wouldn't it be crazy if the next person who picked it up was like, I'm trying to think of another animation podcast.
I don't think there's a lot.
There's some though. I can't remember what they're called,
I don't but I feel like we're both like, are there any that you're like, yeah, I love that podcast?
Well, no, but that's not a good.
But I feel like we're both like in the mix and it's like.
And we're not on them, are we?
Well, it's not that we're not on them, but we're not like listening to them even.
Oh, but I'm not like necessarily seeking out animation content. But you're an educator, so you do that. Do that.
I do that. If there was like a really cool animation podcast, I'd listen to it.
Okay.
So like this is the whole thing about this podcast is that like the ones that I'm aware of, and just anytime that animators are talking about or getting interviewed, it's just very like about the industry, about the kind of work that they do, stuff like that. And it's like, I love animators as people. And it's like, I just want to know them as people. Like I love interview podcasts in general.
Right.
So then it's like, I would love an interview podcast that's just like fun.
Yeah.
With animators.
It's true. Like I actually don't even think of animators necessarily as like the artists that you want to hear their maybe that part of that is that like I do find I think animation is such a collaborative medium that it's like, I know a lot of people's, backgrounds and stories and tastes are going into anything I see, but it's like hard to pick that out. Like, but yeah, no, it's cool you're doing this. I'm honored to be the animator's friend's friend.
Yeah.
Who is the animator.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're the animator. I'm the friend.
No. Oh,
what?
You're the, yeah. That's right.
And also, we would also like to mention that Josh is the first man on the podcast.
Thank you. I was like, when are we going to talk about this? I'm a man. Gosh darn it.
Breaking very important territory.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. Like, we need to get men in animation, and in entertainment in general. Like, it's important to have different kinds of voices out there. And so, like, India was nice enough to have, a straight cis white man on our animation podcast. And I'm here, to kind of put that voice out there for once.
Yeah. Yep. Really, really trailblazing. Yes. Very proud. I think we're ready to get into the questionnaire.
24 questions. As many frames as there are in a second of a standard animation.
Yeah.
On ones.
Yeah.
If you had 12 questions, the questions would be on twos.
I know. I thought about this. I was like, is there fun like variations that I could do? What's like the maximum? 30 something? 31? What is it?
Frames per second?
Yeah.
Oh, there's no maximum. You can go as many as you want.
Well, I guess, so my background's more in film, and like I know that when, you could, like usually you would use just 24 if you're like thinking about like frame rate.
Yeah.
But I think that 30 something was also kind of standard, but like you wouldn't really use it. But I don't remember what number
30
it
was the standard for CG for a little bit, if not still. I'm not sure.
Very interesting tidbit. 30?
Okay. Yes, 30.
Because what if maybe every guest that's on that's like a 3D artist, they get more questions?
Yeah, that's a good point. And then if you ever have who directed The Hobbit?
Peter Jackson?
If you have Peter Jackson on, you're going to have to get like 10,000 questions because that movie was shot at 10,000 frames per second or something.
Okay, Peter Jackson, you're invited to the pod. Love to have you on.
Defend yourself.
I will come up with 10,000 questions. Okay. I have 10,000 questions.
Well, it was
always.
like 60 frames per second, that movie, for some reason.
That's very interesting.
Yeah.
Josh Pilch.
Yes.
Number 1.
Pronounced it perfectly.
What's your sign?
I'm so glad you asked. I always want to talk about this.
Really?
No.
Oh.
No, I'm a Gemini.
Me too. We've talked about this, I'm
yes,
sure.
we must. Yeah, I know. You're always talking about this.
Do you know like what your rising and your moon are?
I think they're both Virgo.
Oh, interesting.
Definitely rising Virgo.
Okay.
I don't remember the moon.
I can see that.
Yeah. What does it mean?
I just like Virgos. Like, I just know I like Virgos.
Oh, you said you can see that in me.
I think that they're like...
I'm sorry. I said the wrong thing. I'm a virgin.
I think that they like make good friends, Virgos. It's like they like, I think that they're good listeners. I think that they're like, they're social. Mm-hmm. I think they can be a little like anal.
Mm-hmm. They like anal.
They like anal.
Okay.
That's a very important trait that a Virgos
I'm
have.
shocked that the stars know that.
I just know, like, I feel like it's silly because it's like I always am like, I love Virgos, but like it's hard for me to actually tell you what their traits are. It's just that like I have noticed that people that I'm like close to, they tend to be Virgos.
Right. Okay. I mean, I do think I'm social, and I
But Gemini's also social.
Okay.
So you're just like very social.
That's weird because like I do think of myself as an introvert. Maybe
what's your
just
moon? You don't know your moon. That's the problem.
Should I look it up?
The moon is who you are deep down. No, it's gonna take too long. But yeah, like your moon is.
Yeah.
is probably going to be more indicative of like who you almost feel like.
Oh.
So like you're
Oh, I see.
like Gemini is like kind of
Well, people don't like Geminis.
yeah, they're controversial.
Okay.
But like I don't really get why in a lot of ways, because I think Geminis, they're social, they're friendly, they can kind of fit in with anybody.
Uh-huh.
But then people also feel like they're superficial. I do think that maybe it's hard to like really know a Gemini in a way, because it's like they can kind of be whoever to anybody. And then people feel like they're superficial.
Yeah.
People always say two-faced, but I don't think it's two-faced like that they're bitchy, like, and that they're gonna like and then like talk shit behind your back.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like I don't think that that's what's meant by two-faced. I just think that they have two sides.
Yeah.
Do you feel like you have two sides?
I think that humor can be a crutch a little bit, where it's like I don't have to be vulnerable if I can make people laugh. It's fun to hang out with, but it's not always good for getting to know people. And so people have said I'm hard to get to know, and I didn't mean to be. Now I'm working on being a little more open and honest. And like, it's nice too, because then I'm like, oh, I don't have to entertain everybody. I can be a human being. Two.
What did you eat today?
I had turkey bacon, egg white, and cheddar on a whole wheat everything bagel from Bagel Villa in Bay Ridge, Brooklyn.
It's actually very weird that they make bacon that is out of turkey. You know what I mean? Like if you think about it,
I am thinking
about it. Turkey is nothing like pork.
Turkey, that's true, yeah.
How do they do that?
Not? I don't know. I don't really know anything about food.
They're very different.
Okay. The animals are different for sure. Pig, turkey, not much in common. No.
They both have kind of unusual feet, if you think about it.
Explain.
Like a turkey has, they have like
a turkey just has regular
the scaly feet
right,
with the talons, because they're a bird ultimately.
Yes.
And then
ultimately, and we got to admit, ultimately a turkey is a bird.
Yes.
Let's just say that.
And then a pig has little hooves.
That's crazy.
It's kind of weird, no? I feel like wouldn't you say, us included, wouldn't you describe as most animals as having like paws?
No, some have hooves, some have...
Yeah, but some have hooves. I'm talking about like the majority.
No bird does.
Yeah, but they're birds.
No rodent does.
Yeah, they do.
They have paws.
That's paw, yeah.
A rat's little hands is a paw.
Yeah, I would say that's a paw, yeah.
Okay.
Do you cook?
I sometimes.
What do you cook?
Oh, simple things,
Simple's good.
A lot of sandwiches.
Sandwiches are great.
Sure, okay. A stir fry.
Stir fry's great.
Yeah. Eggs.
Eggs are great.
You're a good cook.
Thank you.
Yeah, you're really good, actually.
Okay.
This is a nightmare. Talking to you about this.
Why? About cooking?
Yeah, a little bit. It's not a nightmare. I'm happy to talk to you.
I mean, during the week, I cook really like simple. I feel like I just like, I'll do like, I make like a rice bowl, which is like not really even cooking. I feel like it's like I have a little rice cooker.
To me, it would be.
And then it's like I just make a bunch of like tiny things, but like it takes like 2 seconds to make, and then just put it on the rice, and that's it.
That's my thing, is like I always wanted to not take any time.
Yes. Yeah.
I feel bad. It's like I give no respect to the culinary arts. I will put so much time into animation or whatever, project I'm excited about. But like feeding myself, keeping myself alive, I'm like, who cares? Let me do it fast.
Yeah. I mean, I think it's hard to like, for me personally, I feel like this year, maybe more than other years, like, feel like I don't have a lot of time at the end of the day. You know what I mean? Or like maybe not time, but like energy.
Yeah, me too.
So like I've been definitely just making things that are just like quicker to make, or I'm like ordering in more. And it's like, I like ordering in sometimes, but like I don't want to do it a lot.
Yeah, same.
But it's like, I just think unfortunately in capitalism.
Yeah.
Do
you like capitalism?
I don't. I really do not.
Oh, the podcast is getting good.
Yeah. I'm over it. 3, have you listened to music today?
Yeah, I only listened to my favorite band. They Might Be Giants. I just went to a very fun and exciting concert of theirs in a venue that was larger than I've ever seen them in, and it was like really exciting and fun.
Is that all you listened to today? Was them?
Yeah, it is, because I was like on a kick of like, oh, the concert was so fun. I want to like keep listening to them.
Yeah.
But I love music. I listen to a lot of music. So I did like the album called Brat Summer.
You know what's weird? As ubiquitous as Brat was this summer, I don't really like feel like I know any of the songs on that album.
None of them?
I think she's cool. Like I take no issue, but I'm like, I almost feel like I know her. Like it's like an opposite issue of like the Animators plight, where it's like I feel like I know her more as like a personality.
Oh yeah.
Rather than actually her work.
Yeah.
I support, even if I didn't quite have a Brat summer per se. Like I support her.
You had a RHCP summer.
I always have a RHCP summer.
That's such a detail about you that feels incongruent somehow, that India Lombardi-Bello loves the Red Hot Chili Peppers.
What can I say? Well, I feel like you're saying that like because you think like less of them.
Yeah.
Have you ever considered that nobody is like the Red Hot Chili Peppers?
Nobody?
Nobody.
What do you mean?
No one is like the Red Hot Chili Peppers. There's no band like the Red Hot Chili Peppers, aside from maybe the Beatles.
No, come on.
Here's my hot take.
They're like an earlier Green Day or something.
No, what?
Yeah.
Do you know who the Red Hot Chili Peppers are?
Sure, Flea.
Yeah.
Kiedis, the rest.
Just even there, you don't understand. What I mean when I say that they're like the Beatles, and it's that like if you took, so I mean the core group being Anthony Kiedis, Flea, John Frusciante, and Chad Smith, and if you take away any one person, you wouldn't have the same thing.
Yeah, but what if you replace them with a person who plays exactly like them?
You can't.
Sure you can.
You can't.
I can play bass like Flea.
You can't. No, you can't. What are you talking about? No, you cannot.
Yeah, I can do it.
Do you play bass?
I could learn.
Oh my God.
Okay, so I hear what you're saying. Like each member of the band is like a personality. There's not every band we know the bassist and the drummer, and they all write too, right?
Yeah, like I just feel like they're all really important to like what the sound of the band is, and like John Frusciante more than anybody comes in and out of the band, and it's like it's only the albums that like he's on that it's like that's like the classic Red Hot Chili Peppers.
Yeah.
You know, like that's what you think of when you think of Red Hot Chili Peppers.
Right. Like if Paul just left.
Yeah, like that would be weird. It'd be weird, you know? I mean, it never happened, I guess. You know what I mean?
No, it didn't.
But like, well, I will say, where the Beatles are better than the Red Hot Chili Peppers.
Oh, she admitted it.
That like, I mean, so incredible their solo careers, each one of them after.
The Beatles. Yeah.
I mean, every single one of them.
I agree.
Even Ringo.
Yeah, I agree.
You know, and
it don't come easy.
It shows how like they were so talented just like on their own. Yeah. So then like all of them coming together is like ridiculous.
Yeah. Yeah, I know. I'm so jealous of the Beatles.
Yeah.
They were like, because like how old were they when the first album came out?
They had to be really young, like early 20s. I mean, George was the youngest. So he might have been a teenager.
I know. That's what I'm
Yeah.
thinking. Yeah. And like, yeah, I don't know. So much creative energy. They did it all in their 20s.
It is cool. I have like a belief that there's 3 types of people in the world. You're either a Beatles person, Beach Boys person, Rolling Stones person. Are you Beatles person? Me too.
Yeah. I've made the argument also that They Might Be Giants are the modern Beatles.
No.
No.
Nope.
Why not? But it's less of a personality thing. It's more the songwriting. They're short. They are kid friendly. They're often narrative and about characters that are not autobiographical. And they shift genre rapidly.
I'm going to be honest with you. I don't like They Might Be Giants.
No, they're good.
I don't like them.
Why not?
There's something about them that feels, there's something cheesy.
Yeah, it is. I agree. But so you come from like a family of artists.
I gave a.
Oh yeah.
What would you call this gesture?
Like, okay, so she kind of made like a
I gave a Robert De Niro.
and then waved her arm out like, okay, given. I'll give you that, Fokker. Me, I'm from Bucks County, Pennsylvania. My parents, I would say, are like real blue collar. They didn't go to college, I guess, for whatever that means. And all anybody was listening to was, classic rock or the current hits. And so like to learn that there were these guys who were best friends since high school and like just had this insatiable drive to create stuff that is weird and like I had never heard anything like it. Like now I live in New York City and I'm like, oh, there's like a pocket fandom of like every weird little thing. But like I was not aware of the art scene of the East Village when I was at Bensalem and like raised by people who also weren't aware of that. Now my parents love They Might Be Giants also. I got them into it. So that's why they're very meaningful to me. Like they're cheesy compared to how truly crazy some art projects are and some music projects are. But the fact that they broke through and are being very true to themselves meant a lot to me.
Mm-hmm. I respect it because like, yeah, I mean, they're doing it.
Yeah, they're doing it.
And it's very much they're doing their thing.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And for a long, long time.
Yeah.
And it's good. It's good songwriting.
Okay.
You like Red Hot Chili Peppers.
Have you ever listened to Under the Bridge or Soul to Squeeze?
Yes.
And I will say Anthony Kiedis, who is the songwriter, he was a writer before he was a singer. Like if you're going to criticize, I think anything, you would criticize his singing, but his writing is pretty good. Anthony Kiedis would love to have you on the show.
Yeah.
But you have to animate something first and then we can talk.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All these years he's never animated anything.
I know. It's weird, actually.
Lazy.
Oh, man.
What?
The second question, the fourth question that I asked is a little bit too similar, I feel like, to the first question. Or not to the first question, to the last question.
All right, I'll try to find a different angle.
What's the last song you Shazammed?
Should I find out?
Yeah.
Okay. Oh. Cigarette Daydreams by Cage the Elephant.
Oh, that's on my playlist right now.
Is it really?
My fall playlist, yeah. I like that song, but I feel like kind of embarrassed that I like that song.
That was certainly an era of like the sort of like high voiced indie sound, like post Shins, but like very marketable thing. But it sounded nice. Whatever it was, I think I liked the melody. And that made me, I wasn't playing at work. That seems unusual, but it could have been.
Yeah, I feel like it's like almost like it's too representative of its time.
I know, but isn't it the best thing I think you can do with any piece of art is to like judge it without context almost. Like,
it is like, yeah. And I think that like, because it's in the past.
Yeah, right.
I'm like, I can just like be like, yeah, I like this song. It's just like a good song. It's like a sweet, like good song. I saw them. Do you remember Silver Sun Pickups?
I like them. Yeah.
I loved them. I haven't listened to them in so long. I should listen to them again. They were like my favorite band. I loved them so much.
Wow.
And they were playing at Northern Lights.
What's that?
In Clifton Park, formerly. I mean, maybe if it still exists, I think it's called Upstate Concert Hall now, but I don't think it exists anymore. It was in a strip club.
Okay.
A strip mall.
I was going to say, yeah, they were playing a strip club?
A strip mall.
That's funny that was in a strip mall.
Yeah. Yeah. Weird, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, they used to get all like the cool bands. And yeah, it was Silver Sun Pickups and then Cage the Elephant opened, but they really only had that one hit song, Ain't No Rest for the Wicked.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was like their first song, their first big song. They were amazing live.
Yeah.
They were like explosive. And I think that they're still like that
cool.
today. And then the lead singer was just like walking around after it. I was like, great set. And he was like, oh, thanks, man. You know.
That's fun. Well, I guess I like them too.
Yeah.
I Shazammed them.
Yeah, I think they're underrated.
Interesting. Okay.
Yeah.
Do you think they're like better than like Death Cab for Cutie?
No.
What?
But this is coming from somebody who I loved Death Cab
You did?
for Cutie.
Okay.
I loved them. But as an adult, can't listen to it. Okay. It's over.
Yeah, I get that.
Number 5. What's the last movie you saw in a theater?
Oh, I saw a great movie. It was animated. It's called Stray. You know this movie?
No.
It's awesome. It was it's by a Latvian director. And this is typical, you know, like you asked me, it's the last movie I saw, and like it's probably some like foreign art film.
Of course.
Yeah. No, it's an awesome movie though. It was all done in Blender, which is like the open source 3 CG software. So some people, it kind of bugged. I saw on like Letterboxd, it like bugged people that it looked a little like not as rendered as like a Pixar movie or something, but it didn't bother me at all because I thought stylistically it was really cool. And the premise is you're just following a little black cat the whole time, and then there's
not Flo, is it?
That's what I said. Flo.
You said Stray.
Oh my god, I mixed it up with the video game where you play as the little cat.
Part of me was like, that can't be right, because I feel like I would have heard about it. Yeah, Flo. I didn't see Flo, but I've heard it's very good.
Yeah, it's awesome. Yeah, I saw Flo. I haven't played Stray yet, but I really want to.
I heard Stray's interesting.
Yeah. I just think it's funny that there's two things where there's a little barely anthropomorphized cat as the protagonist.
Yeah. And you're a big time cat person.
I am now.
You weren't always.
No, I grew up with dogs. I love dogs.
Yeah.
But now I have a cat and I love my cat.
Okay.
That's a silly mistake I made, but it's an amazing movie. Yeah, I don't want to give away too much, but like the fact that they're not super anthropomorphized is really cool, especially if like I like figuring out how animals communicate. Like there's a very judiciously used slow blink in Flow. You know, when cats blink real slow because they love you.
Oh, is that what that means?
It's like their way of kind of being like, I'm very comfortable and I'm happy to be looking at you.
Oh, that's so sweet.
It is, I know, isn't it?
Sometimes I wonder, like, do animals think we're cute? But I don't think they do.
Yeah, I think they must have some sort of feeling of like, oh, look at these guys.
Yeah.
Walking on there. But although humans must look weird to animals, because like what other animal has like
It's like fully hairless.
except a bunch of it on top? Not me, but most people.
Yeah. Number 6, what were you like in high school?
I think I was very contradictory because I had a lot of friends. I got along with people and I was smart. I was in like the smart classes. But I was like deeply self-conscious and like really, really convinced that like I was uncool, I guess. And it bothered me. So like, yeah, I had fun and I'm like feel lucky I had so many friends, but I hadn't quite worked out liking myself yet. Someone might describe me as popular, but I didn't get to enjoy that.
Yeah.
Because I really didn't see myself that way at all.
Are you still in touch with people from high school?
Yeah, I am. I was real lucky. Part of it was like being in the like gifted program and like we were in classes all the time. So like I made like some really good friends and stay in touch with them. And then like in college too, I just like happened to fall in with a nice big group of friends really quickly. And then when I moved to New York, it took me like forever to have friends. Like, and that was like a big, like kind of wake up call of like, no, this is supposed to instantly happen. And it took me like years. It was like quite lonely.
Yeah. Yeah. I feel like that's the thing about moving to New York City.
Yeah.
It's like, it's weird. Number 7, you kind of touched on this earlier. Okay. What did your parents do for a living? Or what do they do for a living?
Yeah, they're both still working. My dad is a printing pressman, has been his whole life. He like operates one of those big giant printing presses and he loves doing that. And then my mom had like a lot of different jobs. So like now she works at a place that gets clients that need to digitize data that's like hard copy, like paper, and then like give it back to the client or whatever. So it's like scanning stuff and like archiving stuff on a computer and stuff like that. She worked at Target for a bit. She worked at my high school while I was in high school.
That's challenging.
Yeah, it was awkward. Mm-hmm. What if I wanted to kiss a girl? And then I'm like, Mom, you're right behind me.
Yeah.
She was like the front desk person at the high school.
Yeah.
I feel like she never quite, I don't know if this was even her goal, but like never like kind of found like the vocation or whatever, like the job that she loved. She found many other things that she loves in life, but my dad really did like, he like went to tech school for printing and was just like, that's what I'm going to do. And he like really likes it. That's kind of how I was too, India.
About animation?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I decided that's what I was going to do like really early on.
How old?
Like kindergarten.
Wow.
Yeah.
Lisa, our previous guest, she said 9.
9. Okay. Well,
so
guess I have her beat.
Yeah. Number 8, what's your latest fixation?
I will say like this past weekend, I had accumulated Lego sets as gifts. Mm-hmm. And I just decided to like do all of them and they were so fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's cool. Yeah.
And like other model things too. Like I got someone had given me like a wooden model of an accordion and that was really fun. And like I saw the Lego movie and it was like almost the message of that movie was like, don't follow the instructions. It's like be creative. And I'm like, my job is be creative. So the way I relax is follow the instructions.
Interesting. Yeah. That makes sense. Yeah, totally. Number 9, what character from animation do you relate to the most?
Oh, that's easy. The Cheshire Cat from the Disney Alice in Wonderland. Yeah.
Why?
He's so funny and unhelpful. I do this all the time. Like it's just he delights in miscommunication and like because I guess he's actually kind of an antagonist in that movie, but like he like all Alice wants is help to get home, and he's just like, have you tried going both ways? It's like, brother.
That's funny.
Also, that was my favorite movie as a kid. So like when I rewatched it as an adult, I was like, oh, I like this, like really did inform my view on the world. And I don't know, the fact that we're all just like trying to get through life and accomplish things, and it's like impossible to communicate satisfactorily. So why not just be a goof, take your whole head off, stand on it, and be like, can you stand on your head?
Number 10. What is your favorite feature animation?
Oh, it probably is Alice in Wonderland. I read the book Alice's Adventures in Wonderland, and
the book is great. Like
really?
I loved the book.
Okay.
I'll say that conclusively.
Okay.
The movie I don't remember that well, but the book I loved.
Yeah. I had like mixed feelings about the book because I don't quite relate to the messaging. Like it kind of feels like this weird, like, here is how to be a proper girl or something, like, and then like so many adaptations of it like really lean into the psychedelia to varying degrees of interestingness. But to me, the Disney one is like such a comedy for the reasons I said, like a comedy of like misunderstandings and all that. But it even like builds in the way of like, for the improv fans, it's like kind of got Harold structure where it is placing like all the pieces, and then at the very end there's a trial, and like every stupid thing that has happened so far like comes back, and they're like celebrating unbirthday like in the middle of a life or death trial. Is like, what? It's your unbirthday, the day that's not your birthday? It's like, you shouldn't be surprised by that.
There's something about it. I'm just putting this together now that's foreshadowing the Seinfeld finale.
Yeah, you're right. That's true. They had to have watched that at some point.
I mean, who hasn't seen Alice in Wonderland, I guess, at some point. Yeah.
That's so funny. Yeah, it is. Everyone she ever met and like made their day worse is there to testify against her.
Yeah. That's pretty funny.
Yeah.
Larry David, love to have you on the podcast
to
discuss, but you have to animate something first.
Yeah, get on it. Like, what's your boy Jerry kind of made some bees.
That's true.
Yeah.
Maybe we can get Seinfeld on here. Maybe he qualifies.
I would shoot for him for like episode 4.
Okay.
Yeah.
We'll see
like right after me. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. We'll try. I'll get my people on it.
Oh, I'll just say this also, like the animation in Alice in Wonderland is really good too. It's like really pretty, and there's flowers. And,
like the thing that stands out to me is the flowers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's probably the most visually exciting part. But there's the whole thing is good though.
Yeah. Number 11. What is your favorite short animation?
I'm not big into shorts.
That's crazy.
That's not crazy.
That is crazy.
A lot of them are bad.
How can you say that?
Well, no, but when you like work in animation, unfortunately, like you end up kind of going to a lot of events like with, they're not bad because
I like short animation, like I think so much more than feature. Yeah.
I'm just a movie person in general. Like I watch movies, like rather than like binge watch a show, I like watch movies. My favorite short technically probably is a Looney Tunes. Yeah, the two Chuck Jones, Elmer Fudd ones are, I don't know, they still really make me laugh. And then I remember I don't remember the title, but there was one Roadrunner short, and it wasn't even Chuck Jones. I think it was like a Fritz Freeling one, where like one of the bits is that the coyote is in a speedboat alongside the road that the Roadrunner is running on, but then it's gonna go to a waterfall. And he's like, oh my God, a waterfall. And he turns the speedboat around. It's animated like really like laboriously. Is that the word? Like
Sure.
It's very labored that he has to turn around this big old speedboat, and it's just about to go off the edge when he turns it around, and he's like, phew, and he sails like 2 feet, and there's another waterfall right on the other side, which is impossible because we just saw him chasing, and that made me laugh so hard. I think about that all the time.
Yeah, that stuff is like so good.
I don't know how you write gags, or maybe they didn't write them. Maybe they just boarded them. That's a lost art form, I think, is the like, we have set up the premise, we've set up the comedic premise of like a chase or whatever, and then we're just blowing out like a million instances of like, here's a thing he tried and then it went wrong. I don't know. It's kind of a beautiful thing, and I've never done it.
I feel like slapstick is classic. Like it's never not funny.
Slapstick is clapstick.
Right. But there's something like, yeah, that's old about it. Like,
yeah,
you don't see, there's no like equivalent to even like, let's say like a Charlie Chaplin,
I guess,
type movie.
Right. Well,
I feel like there's comedy, like there's comedies, and then they like will insert like these slapstick moments in there, but it's not like you would be like, that's slapstick.
Yeah, you're right. I mean, there's so few comedy movies right now in general, but like, it's true. Like even on TV, like what's a slapstick show?
Nothing.
Yeah.
Everything's so cerebral now.
It is. Yeah.
Yeah. Number 12. What's something you believe to be overrated?
It's not a word that goes through my head a lot. Overrated. Oh wait, I have a funny one. So I like video games, such as Stray,
Right.
which is a video game and not a movie. I'm like a big fan of the Legend of Zelda series. They did one a couple years ago where they're like, ooh, we're going to like change the formula and we're going to like make it an open world. And it's like, and it was called Legend of Zelda, the Breath of the Wild. And this came out and everybody was like, this is the best game ever made.
When did it come out?
It came out like when the Nintendo Switch came out.
Okay. So like pretty recent.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it was like regarded as like the best game ever, and like you can't find people who don't like it, but you just found them.
Wow.
And I just think it's funny that because like I just think it's bad, but like it's clearly not, and I think it's so funny that like in my mind I'm like, oh yeah, Legend of Zelda, Breath of the Wild, one of the worst video games of all time. And like to anybody who knows it, it's like, that is absurd. Like,
yeah.
But
what is it that like, what do people like about it? And then what is it that you don't like about it?
I guess I don't quite know what people like about it, but it changed to me. It changed the formula so much that it was like unrecognizable. I think people like the expansiveness of it, and like that you can like explore so many different parts of it. And then like I miss the narrative aspect of it, and the like going to temples and getting an item that you use. There's none of that in it because it sucks. It's a bad game.
Okay. 13. What's something you believe to be underrated?
Oh, there was a show on Netflix called Medical Police that was a spin-off of Children's Hospital.
What's Children's Hospital?
Children's Hospital was a live action Adult Swim show with Rob Corddry. And it was really funny. It was like a parody of like Scrubs and ER and stuff like that. And then they did a spin-off that was like globe-trotting, like espionage series with the same characters. And it was so funny. And it came out like right when the pandemic hit. I actually don't know if this is the case. I know I worked on a project where the network got cold feet about promoting it because it involved like death and disease. And this show did too, but it's so funny.
Well, maybe now they'll see it.
Maybe. How many listeners do you have? Like millions and millions?
I wish. 14. What's something you can't get your head around?
That's hard because I don't know if there's anything that I've tried to understand that I couldn't possibly.
Okay. Mr. Gifted program in high school.
I'm smart. Well, you know what? Oh, you know what? No, like songwriting I find really hard.
Yeah.
I haven't like put in the effort. Even like playing the guitar is like, it's a little for as much as like, I think I do understand music theory, but writing a song is very ethereal. I wrote part of a song, like a comedy song, and I like recorded it and put it on my Instagram, and I do think it's funny, but I put so many words and so many like, what do you call it when it's like a note that's like on the measure before and goes into it? I forget what it's called. Well, there's so many of those that I didn't consider that like you kind of can't sing it because there's nowhere to take a breath. But what a strange thing to realize I wasn't thinking about at all.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's so many pieces to songwriting, you know, like, and like like there's only a couple chord progressions, but like, how do you make them sound different?
Yeah, I can't really get my head around it.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
I'm worried I'm saying something that's like the most obvious thing in the
I
world
feel like
to
that's
someone.
like, no, that's like, it's not just writing lyrics. It's not just coming up with a tune.
Yeah.
It's like, it's so many pieces.
So many pieces.
And it has to, like, there's something about music that it's like, it needs to like make sense in a way that like is almost like not tangible. You know what I mean?
You're right.
You can't just be like, you know what I mean? It's like, that's not, nobody's going to listen to that.
Yeah.
Maybe somebody. I mean, you know, whatever.
Yeah, you can't just be like, I got to take it slow.
Oh my God. Yes, you can. Number 15, we kind of alluded to this question earlier. What made you want to be an animator?
Yeah, I always liked drawing cartoons. And when I started doing it when I was in kindergarten, there was a man on PBS named Bruce Blitz, and he like has these art sets that people get. It's like Blitz, but he had a show where he taught you how to draw cartoons, and I was like obsessed with it, and I would like ask my parents to tape it. Yeah, and I would like pause it and like follow along everything he was drawing. I thought that was the best. And then I loved cartoons. I loved like Looney Tunes and everything. So I kind of just decided right away, like, that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to make these cartoons. And it made my parents nervous because Animator as a job didn't exist in Ben Salem.
Well, yeah, that too. Yeah.
No, yeah. It's more that it was so location based. Still is.
Yeah.
They're like, I don't think this is a job, but they would like research and be like, well, you go to art school, I guess. And so they were pretty supportive, actually, just worried and confused. But I always knew that's what I wanted to do.
That's cool.
Yeah. I have knock on wood, have not yet been disillusioned. I still really like doing it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's good. Because I feel like the state of the industry right now is a little like, ooh.
I would say something that I've noticed is a little different about me from the average like animator that I work with is, you know, I've had issues with confidence or whatever, like I talked about in high school. I don't think I've ever doubted my like artistic skill. I pride myself in believing that like I can make my work exist in any environment or something, you know, like up till now that actually has been true. It is partially like kind of deluding myself a little bit, but like that's just the way, I don't know. That's just the way I operate though, is to be like, this is what I like to do. I'm good at doing it. I will find the place that I can do it. Like, cause like when I was freelance and there were slow times, not like this, you know, I would just find whatever, like anybody who wanted me to draw. Like I drew storyboards for like emergency videos for Holland America Cruise Line. You're going to want to get a shot of the life jacket. Yeah. But like, I don't know, it paid the bills and like, I got to draw. So it was, I don't know.
Well, it's like, I guess it's like you enjoy it even when it's not like, when it's just drawing a life jacket.
Yeah. Well, because also it's like drawing a life jacket takes a lot less thought than drawing a TV show. So then I could just go home and like have energy to make something else. I hope this doesn't sound like self-important, but like, I think it's a thing. Most people are trying to balance like work, life, dating, health. But then if you're an artist, it's also where do you make time to make stuff also? And it's like,
you feel like it's an added burden.
Yeah. Well, it doesn't have to be, but yes.
No. Yeah.
I think it can be.
Yeah. But I guess also like probably every person, even if they're not an artist, they should have that thing in their free time. That is like, that's like a thing that's like, they really like this, doing this thing. Right. But maybe it fits in better to the other categories that you're talking about.
It's like I'm jealous of people who like to play tennis or like their expression is like
exercise.
Also is like also good for them in another way. I mean, not that it's not good for you to create art, but like nice to.
It's like its own category.
I think so. Maybe.
All right, 16.
Okay.
What is your most life-defining decision?
Well, probably moving to New York. Right now, again, is like a weird time. But like when I came here, there's a lot more like independent studios and like space for like weirder artists. I just would stumble upon like the strangest projects here, and that like truly has informed like both the art I make and like the type of person that I ended up being as a 34-year-old. I basically followed a girl here.
Classic.
Yeah. It's like I kind of thought I wanted to go to LA, but I was just like, oh, the girl is here though. But I'm really glad I did. It's I'm realizing it was such a key decision and not one thought out that well.
But it worked out. Yeah. Are you still in touch with her?
No.
Not at all.
No.
Okay, number 17. When was the first time that you got paid to animate?
I think it was my first job after college. So it was like working for a studio back in Pennsylvania. We did all like ads there, or especially like stuff that would like appear online, like. Oh, you know what? It was, I remember it was for a frozen yogurt place. Yeah.
Do you like frozen yogurt?
Yeah, I do actually. I liked when it was a trend. I haven't had it in a long time though.
Me neither.
Yeah.
I think it's overrated.
Really?
Yeah.
What would you say is underrated?
Didn't I say something earlier? I said Cage the Elephant. That's my answer right now.
Go.
Overrated is frozen yogurt. Underrated, Cage the Elephant. And I guess like in your world, I would also say underrated as Red Hot Chili Peppers.
Yeah, okay. They're rated just fine. Frozen yogurt is not overrated anymore. Nobody cares about it anymore.
But it's like, I don't know, like, I feel like it's still so ubiquitous, and I'm just
Really?
like, it's fine. I'd rather get ice cream.
But frozen yogurt's nice. It's light.
Yeah, but I don't want light. If I wanted light, I'd have a salad.
Salad's the only light food?
I feel like an egg can be light.
It can. I agree.
Ice cream, I don't think can be light.
No, but
Unless like you want like I'm thinking of like things that are like involve ice cream but aren't like just eating ice cream. Like I'm thinking of like an affogato. I would say that's light.
what?
You know what an affogato is?
Isn't that ice cream with coffee?
Yeah, but like you don't put a lot
Or like
in.
espresso, I mean?
Yeah, with espresso.
Yeah. That's heavy.
An egg cream,
Egg cream.
that's light.
Yeah, and gross.
No, have you ever
like
had
egg
one?
creams? Really? I have, yeah.
It's a light milkshake.
Yeah.
I think you're getting too caught up on the ingredients, and you need to forget that and just like taste it.
Okay, I'll forget all the ingredients.
For those of you that are not based in New York City.
Oh, right. People don't. Egg cream is the second worst named dessert after my hometown's water ice.
For those that don't live in Pennsylvania, I guess. I was going to say Philadelphia, but yeah, water ice would just be Italian ice.
Yeah, basically.
And egg cream is milk, some kind of like a syrup.
Chocolate syrup,
Typically,
usually.
it's a chocolate syrup and then seltzer.
Yeah.
And it's nice. It sounds weird, but it's nice.
Okay.
Yeah. 18.
When
did you feel the most discouraged about pursuing your creative path?
One big project that I was in charge of at Augenblick was the City Island Sings, the music video kind of spin-off of the series. And I directed those, and we had like a really crunched schedule for that. And it happened to coincide with me trying to get off an antidepressant. Because I will say, like, the thing that stops me from making art is depression. It's like, it's from inside. The cause from inside the house. The house is my brain. But I mean, more than external factors, it's like whatever chemical that gets me starting to think that like life isn't any good or whatever, then I just like don't want to make anything. So that was a really hard time making that project. And thankfully, from what I've talked to like the people who are working for me, thankfully, I guess for them, like I didn't like take it out on them. Like everything ran smoothly. We like everything hit a deadline, and it also like it happened also to kind of coincide with this point where like Aaron, my boss, the creator of City Island, we had to schedule it that he was writing the next season at the same time that I was doing this thing. And like he you know, his name is on the studio, like and it's his show. He wants to be like the final word on like anything City Island, which he has every right to have. So like that was a sort of frustrating thing also, whereas like I couldn't kind of get enough time from him, but then he was like hard on the project, and I took it a little personally, I'll say. I mean, I'm comfortable saying that because like since then he and I have talked about this, and like we've like kind of reached a better understanding of each other, and more important than that, he cared about my health and was like worried about me, and like I you know, was kind to me, and I'm not like excited to be talking about this, but like I think it is worth saying, because like maybe I'm a freak, but I don't think I'm the only one. I'm like so psyched that I've like made it through that, and like I'm still doing it. And like I said, I love this work, and I love my, I really like the people I work with. Like, so that's like a positive story, I think, is maybe good to share. I don't know.
Yeah, no, I agree. Because I went through some like health stuff.
Yeah.
Like it's a long time ago, which is nice. Yeah. And like, I don't even know how, like, because I was so like depleted that I don't even like know how I like got up every day and like went to work. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's how I felt too.
And it's like,
yeah,
it's it's so hard when you're going through like turmoil and you can't like control it. Like when it's your health, it's like you unless you can get a handle on things, which a lot of times that takes time and patience. You're just having to like power through it. Yeah. And I mean, a lot of places won't be so forgiving. So it's such a blessing when you do work with people who can give you that grace when you're just like, you're doing your best, but maybe your best isn't your previous best.
Yeah, that's exactly how it feels, right? It's like, why can't I not? And then it's embarrassing too, because I'm like, oh, so hard. I gotta go make my cartoons today. but like, whatever your brain does, sometimes it like really messes. And then like, whatever the stress also, like I wasn't sleeping, and like that really messes me up bad. Like, I don't know.
But it's real.
Yeah.
That's all, And yeah, I think it's good for people to hear, because it's like people go through that all the time, but they feel like, I'm the only one who's ever experienced this. And it's like, no. So it's like, I think the more that people can just like share, be vulnerable, the better.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay, good.
All right. 19, not to like potentially turn it negative.
Okay. Cause I did just like really open up like a, really important thing.
We ended on a very hopeful thing. But the next question is, do you have any regrets?
I don't think so. Like, I have like losses and things I miss. Yeah, I shouldn't have killed those people. But I guess that's more remorse,
Right. Yeah, that's good.
That's a joke. No, yeah. So yes, I have losses, and like I might have at one point. Yeah. See, like in college, there was like I had like an opportunity to do like an abroad semester in Japan, and my grandfather was really sick, and so I was like, I want to be home, and so I don't regret that. Like, be cool to see Japan, but
you got your whole life to go.
Yeah. It's nice when you have a reason to travel. And it's hard to find that if you're a certain type of animator. You know what I mean? Like some animators like go to conventions and stuff like that, but I just sit at my computer. Like that's all is really called from me,
Okay. Number 20. What characteristic are you most drawn to in other people?
A critical eye toward the Red Hot Chili Peppers.
Oh my
God. No. What characteristic am I drawn to in others? Since this is boring, sense of humor and empathy, I think, kind of like
those are great.
Yeah, that's about it. It's like great. If someone makes me laugh, I want to hang out with you. Yeah. And then, but if it's not only that, and also you treat people well, hey, what a person. Yeah, because some people
who are funny, they're mean.
Yeah, exactly.
Like shitting on a person's music taste endlessly.
I'm kidding, right?
I know.
I get self-conscious.
I'm busting your chops.
My
I'm
chops.
Turning the tables. My chops.
My chops have been busted. Yeah. Well, also like, because I've hovered around comedy communities, I guess, like with like improv and stand up and stuff, and like there is like a certain kind of funny person who like is not interested in hearing anyone else but themselves talk, and it's like not so much being mean, but it's just like, man, like
self-absorbed.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. 21. When was the last time you lied?
So I'm really trying not to do this, but like maybe you can relate to this with dating app culture. There's like a real pull to like, I'm just gonna say like I'm busy, and then let it fade away. I'm really trying not to do that now. And it's actually way better, I've learned, is to just be like, oh, you're cool, but like, whatever. It leads to actually very human conversations. But I took someone on a date to a place called Tigray, which is a like speakeasy type bar on like the Lower East Side. But I had never been there before. I heard about it on a podcast. I was like, oh, let's go to this place I heard about on a podcast.
Yes, as one does.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I scheduled a date with someone I met on an app. But then I like met someone at a party.
Ooh.
And like asked her out. Here's the part I don't get why I did this at all. I suggested to this person, let's go to that same place.
The party person.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like a couple days earlier than the other one I scheduled. I guess just I was not being creative. But then I went to the place, and it's like just a wall covered in like old ads or whatever. It looks like there's nothing there. And then there's a big man standing there.
A live man?
A big live man. A bouncer.
Okay.
And he's like, you're looking for Tigray. I was like, yeah. He's like, okay, wait here. And then the wall opens and you go in, and it was like way fancier than I thought it was. And there's like not that many people working there. So like, and I was like talking to like a waitress and a bartender and the bouncer. And then I was like, oh, if any of these same people are working here in 2 days, it's like kind of an awkward situation. So I told the other person, here's the lie. I said, oh, I ended up going to that place with some friends and I didn't like it.
That's like a nice like white lie.
I know, but it's still the kind of, I would say like the oh, I'm busy fade out thing is a little white lie too. But I'm like, I'm just trying to get that out.
So you went with the party person.
Uh-huh.
And then you were going to go with the app person.
Yeah.
But when you told the app person, because that was the first person you talked about it with, you were like, oh, I want to try this place. I've never been there.
Yeah.
That was the issue.
I just felt weird that these people would have to watch me, obviously, on a date.
I think they're not like thinking that much about it. And if anything, it's fun for them. You know what I mean? They're not like this fucker. They're probably just like,
I felt like kind of corny to be like, I keep taking people.
But I feel like it's like twice.
I know, but like I think it also just it being so specific what the place was like. I was like, they think I take everybody to weird ass speakeasy, like.
But I just don't think that's something to worry about. They're professionals.
Okay.
That's very funny that's your concern. That you're just like worried about perception.
Yeah, well, I'm a freak.
I can understand.
Okay.
22 is the surprise question.
Oh, it's here.
It's here.
I'm going to take a drink.
Okay.
Okay.
What is your latest I Ching reading? Because for the listener, if you're not familiar with it, the I Ching, based in Taoist philosophy, not too dissimilar from like tarot, in that it's like meant to help answer questions, help to figure out things in the future, help to figure out your inner life. But I like it better. I like Taoism just in general, but also I like it better because I feel like tarot tries to predict things a little bit more, whereas the I Ching more, I think, points to your behavior and like how can you adjust like your perspective on things to help solve your problem. And during one of my pasta Sundays that Josh attended, we did I Ching readings, which was a very interesting party choice, but we did. Yeah. And I heard from Nicole that you've been doing them ever since.
She's not correct.
That's what she said.
No.
That's what she said. So
I think I played with the website for like once.
Well, then what was your last I Ching?
I don't remember.
That you did on your own. You don't remember?
No. I
can't believe this question fell so flat. I was so excited.
Well, hold on. Yeah, what was your latest? What was the one I did here? It was like I was embarrassed.
I don't remember. I think it was about dating.
It was about dating, and I was embarrassed to do it because I like didn't know you that well, and everybody else I didn't know at all. So like essentially that was my last.
You don't remember what the question was?
It was like
because I know whatever it was. I just like I gave you the paper. Like I didn't keep it.
Yeah, it was like how will I find love or something?
Yeah.
And we like came to the conclusion that I actually had to love myself.
Yes, I remember.
Yeah.
That's what's so great about the I Ching. I mean, not that that's like so radical, but it's just like actually that's like not the right question, in a way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Guess what, idiot? The Taoists say you're stupid.
Yeah. Okay.
I'm sorry.
Maybe that's like maybe she oversold it.
Yeah, she probably just meant like he checked out the website.
The way she said it was like he's been doing it ever since.
Ever since. Yeah, one time since then, I went on the website.
Yeah.
I probably did it more than once, but it was like so close to the same time.
Yeah.
And then I would send them to her, I think.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Nicole, if we didn't say it earlier, Nicole being your former coworker and our mutual friend.
Yeah. And then she moved.
Nicole Otayola. 23. Who should I interview next?
Oh. Jeremy Jusset is like this like, what do you call it? Kind of this indie zine making comic artist. He's got a graphic novel called The Strange Ones, and he's like been a background artist on like every Augenblick project basically ever. Is just like such a cool guy.
All right. I'll take it under advisement.
Okay.
The last question.
24.
What do you want to plug?
Oh. Watch City Island on PBS Kids. Watch Weird, the Yankovic Story. And listen to Big Town Improv anywhere podcasts are heard.
And there might be an Animator's Friend crossover to Big Town Improv.
Yeah.
Forthcoming.
That's right. The Animator's Friend may be joining the Animator's Friend's friend on his show. I'm the Animator's Friend's friend.
I see. I don't know. Yeah. I guess.
It's like how Colin Farrell is the time traveler's wife's husband.
Okay. The Animator's Friend is recorded and edited by India Lombardi-Bello and produced in part with facilities provided by SVA MFA Computer Arts in New York City. Music by Crankin Cloutmeyer Evans. Design by Sawyer Rippon. Special thanks to Darren Santamaria, Lisa Labraccio, my parents Lisa Lombardi-Bello and Mick Bello, and Josh for helping me move my couch. Smell you later.